Welcome to the IslandStats.com football show, your weekly dose of all the action from Bermuda's top football leagues. We bring you in-depth coverage of the Premier and First Division, results, highlights, analysis, and exclusive interviews. We also keep you up to date with the latest news and developments from the Bermuda Football Association. Stay tuned for the IslandStats.com football show, your one-stop shop for everything you need to know about the beautiful game in Bermuda. Now let's join the IslandStats.com football show team. Well, good evening and welcome to the kickoff of the 2025-2026 Bermuda Football Association season with the Charity Cup taking place at Bernard Park. I'm your host, Earl Basden, and joining me is Andrew Griffith. We are wishing and hoping that Garrett Punchadill shows up very soon. But Griff, you're at Bernard Park. Give us a sense of the atmosphere. The Women's All-Star game just finished 3-2, but give us a sense of the atmosphere at Bernard Park.
Well, the first thing I can say is wet, but surprisingly, for Donner, when it's a bit of rain, it all floods, but surprisingly, the field itself is held up pretty well. And even outside the park is a few puddles, but not as much as I expected. So, but other than that, the music's going, the crowd's coming in. There's definitely a lot of cars there. Parking was hard. So people are still seem to be excited despite the rain and looking forward to some football tonight.
North Village christening their lights that they've had up since, around January of this year. And now having the opportunity to display them in a real live football game kind of thing. So it's got to be exciting for the club itself and the fact that they are actually taking part in the game too.
Yep. And normally I think this game is the first game of the season. Although it's for a trophy, it's not like the teams are going to go all out and they're still getting the fitness. But I think this may be a little different since it's the first game, christening the lights. I think nobody wants to lose that game. I think North Village definitely doesn't want to lose on the home field. So I think maybe this game will be more competitive than normal charity cups.
Yeah, we remember a few years ago when PHC reopened their field at night and the buzz around it because it was PHC playing North Village. And, a lot of the older members of both clubs came out to just reminisce about when they played under the lights at PHC. So now here's an opportunity for the older members of North Village to come out and talk about when they played without, the lighting that they will see tonight. It's got to be exciting to just have former players around talking about their clashes, especially the former Dandytown players and the North Village players. Over the years, the amount of trophies between the two clubs that have been won is something to talk about for a long period of time.
Yep. Funny you bring up that game. I did participate in that game when PHC opened the field. They had a Masters game before the main game.
Yeah,
that's what brought up
the field. You guys did mess up the field. So that was a
yes. So we got to stink it up before they did the real good stuff afterwards. It's like the before and after pictures at the gym. That's what we were trying to show. But yeah, it does bring out the older folks to, like you say, reminisce and to see what's going on with the new developments, the infrastructure. It's like it is whatever you want to say. It's an improvement for football because we can now have more night games and spread out the games during the week. So and one field, the few night deals that we have won't be overused and the field degrade faster than normally does during the season. So it's good for football all around.
Yeah. The other good thing is that a lot of the fields that we were using for night games, it limited the club for training.
Right.
But when you add more night fields, then it allows those teams to have the availability to have training and sometimes have games a little earlier as opposed to because you're not overcrowding their training night.
Yep. But really, the field looks plus, right? Like,
Yeah.
if you fall on this field, you're gonna fall into a nice mattress.
Well, that
Definitely, and the rain has helped. So I think they even cut it on Friday because it grown so much during the week.
right, right.
Uh,
But hopefully they don't cut all the grass away. They leave some grass there, so at least you have something to
it's
play on throughout the season. Because I know in seasons going by, it's cut like a golf course, and we all know when you have hackers on the golf course, you try to take a lot of debris when you go.
I don't
So
know anybody that's a hacker. All my friends in golf are excellent players.
in your own eyes. But the reality is, the more grass you can have on the
Yeah,
field,
yeah.
the longer the field can last throughout the season. So, um, but let's talk a little bit about the two coaches. I had them on the other night. That those two were part of the St. George's coach team that won the FA 2 seasons ago, and now they're kind of got their own. They're going their way, and both in charge of big clubs now. So the way I see it, I mean, both of them have a challenge. One for uh, Patches. You've done so well in your first year. How do you continue that run on? And then for Giroud, obviously working under Kyle last year, and now it's got the helm of the team. How do you push your blend on to these players to get a better, I guess, a better season? Because Giroud even talked about it. There was a period where after they won the friendship last year that players lost interest. Players just didn't want to train. They didn't want to commit to the program itself.
Yeah, I think the more difficult job is definitely for Giroud after picking up where Kyle left off, because I know that Kyle got frustrated with like what you're saying. So it's maybe a younger player can relate to the younger players today. I don't know, but I think he would definitely have his work cut out for him. But
Hmm.
they do have the talent. Like they looking at him warm up, like they seem to be fit and fast, like they normally are. So
Right.
he
Right.
has the tools at his disposal.
Yes. Yeah. And what do you see in the North Village outfit as they warm up?
What I'm noticing more is the new players that are is I think 4 or 5 new players that look like they will play a lot. So that how they blend in and how he works them, will it take time or will they be ready to jump in from right from the goes? That remains to be seen.
Yeah. Yeah. And obviously, um, the goalkeeper from North Village. Um, we'll have an eye on. Obviously, he's in the squad to face Jamaica on
Jamaica, yeah.
Friday and then travel to Curacao. So obviously, in the back of his mind, he's thinking, I need to play this safe, um, but I want to win a trophy. I want to win a trophy, and a lot of people want to win the first available trophy of the year, and these two teams will definitely have that opportunity.
So saying that and after this they go right into the other trophy, the Dudley Eve. So I think
Yes, which starts tomorrow.
some players will be missing from both teams for the next round of games
Well,
next week.
and the funny thing is they play each other
Yes,
next week Saturday night
next week. Yes.
in the Dudley Eve. And yeah, well, obviously Dendytown will miss Dante and Blankendown, and you'll be missing D-Trade.
D-Trade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for that match during the squad for Bermuda. Um, but the good thing about the Dudley Eve, well, nowadays, the good thing about the Dudley Eve is because you play a group stage um, with 3 matches, you have a chance to rebound if you lose that first one. If you're in the group of 4, if you're in the group of 3, you're like the old
2 games.
Martin Mirror.
Yeah.
You're like the old Martin Mirror, and Martin when back in the day when the Martin Mirror was around, it was something you worked towards to be a part of. Now, I think with the association's thought process is, you give everybody a chance to play in the Dudley Eve, and
That stayed up. Yeah.
yeah, Yeah, and the two teams that came up as well. Where now the only thing is I just have to stay up. I don't have to get into the top six. Where
Right.
years ago it was that battle. I need to get into the top six because I want to play in the Martin
E.
here and at the
Right.
start of
Yeah.
the season.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So in a way, I mean, I understand what they're trying to do, but it kind of waters down a tournament because you know what I mean. What's to establish other than winning the league? All the other teams have got to say is, yeah, I'm staying up, and then I'm in the Dundee, you know. So here's an opportunity for both Dandytown and North Village to set the tone for their season, although it's early, and still have the Dundee to play because actually, what's that? You play 3 or 4 games before the season even kicks off. You know, the league season, um,
Yeah.
and you know we've seen a lot happen from their own end.
But if you remember from last year, North Village were lost points for one game using ineligible players last
Yes,
year. And that was the difference. And then because before that they were headed and possibly could have been in the runners for that trophy, but then that ended their chances. So one
right.
game here or there in the tournament could change your fortunes.
Yes, yes. So true, so true. The funny, well, you'll have a new champion this year because the trophy was taken to the first division by
Yes,
Hamilton
yes.
Parish. So obviously now it's wide open. It's all open again because everybody's on zero. Um, but give us your prediction where these two teams will finish in your mind at the end of the season.
Oh, you're trying to start out early. I see build predictions. But let's be. I think looking at it now, unless barring something crazy, I think Village will be stronger because they have somewhere to train this year. Last year they would face of that issue, and they have additional players. So on paper and theoretically, it should be stronger. So I think first or second for Village. Now, Daddy's Arms are a whole different beast. They could either be contended for the league, or they could be
Right,
fighting for fifth or sixth. It all depends on the coach, how they take to the new coach, administration. I think that's the talent isn't the thing that's in debate. It's how they manage that talent. So
but that's yeah, yeah. That's a good point. That's a good point.
uh,
You
I'm,
still haven't said anything though.
I yeah, I'm
You sound
non-committal.
you sound you sound like Trump, man. You
Yes,
sound
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
Trump, man. You don't
I
answer
was
me
gonna say
direct.
like you get. Why don't you be nice? Why don't you just say like a politician, and be generic, not like Trump. Come on, man. Maybe better than that. So I don't want to commit to a pick. I say they will be up near the top two. That is all, but they could be down as low as fifth or sixth. I think it all depends.
And North Village.
I said North Village. I think North Village will be up one or two. I think they will contend. I think they're
Okay,
stronger.
okay, okay. All right.
Uh,
Uh,
but that,
the good thing
but
is
only
that we could play this back.
yes. Oh, wait. So can we get you on the record as well, or are you going to be a
Sure.
politician?
No, no, no. You want my honest answer? These two teams will finish where they finish in the league.
See, that's and you know what? I take this time to remind everybody. I won the picks last year,
Oh yeah,
so
yeah. You did. You
I
did.
I will commit and I make decisions. Unlike you who waffles, you gotta stick to your pick. Be strong.
All right. They will finish 1 and 2 again.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
But again, I hope you've been doing your research because I don't want it to be easy like last year and be the champ in making the picks this year.
When you win something, you can talk all you want. But yeah, this year will be well. We start at zero
Of course,
again. Yeah. So should be interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
pay a touch.
Have you seen all the transfers?
Yes,
Okay.
I
So
scanned it when
what
they first
what
came.
yeah what team now excites you with the people that they brought in? Is there any team that kind of, oh, I really want to see how these players gel in this team? at some point?
I, I want to say Cougars got a few, but they also lost a few, so I'm not sure.
Hmm.
They seem to like Village got a few Cougars players and a few Parish players. A lot of the Parish players have dispersed to a few different
Yes.
premier teams, so it'll be interesting to see how they blend in with their new teams.
Hmm. Hmm.
There's all it. I would say September, October. It'll be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Well, the good thing is you get an opportunity to
Right.
see two of Hamilton Parish's team players in the North Village team,
Yes, yes.
um, in Queen Otterbridge and the other Otterbridge. What do you mean? Jordan Otterbridge.
I saw them in the warm ups. They both looked like they're fit and ready to go.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The other one, we had a former Village player. He eventually played for Cougars, Shakai Casey. His
Yes,
back,
he's
and he
back.
looks
Hmm.
ready to go. He looks, as I'm saying, he looks like a lot of these players. They bulk up. He looks bigger now.
Ah,
Yeah.
what about Norfolk? Just looking at the team, what about Norfolk's defense? Because there was a lot of talk about their defense at some point in time in the season, um, and now they've picked up players to try to ratify that. To if players are missing and so forth, to fill the void.
That is the what I'm going to be looking at the most tonight. That's the X factor. I'm I'm not sure on that because they were chopping and changing at the end of last year. So I'm not
Yeah,
sure if he's going to try stuff tonight or if he's going to play his back four that he's going to play for the season. So we'll see what they start with.
I did mention to Drew the other night about the indiscipline towards the end of the season with the players, the Niton players on the field, and he did indicate that they had addressed those issues and they wanted to make everybody understand what the rules and regulate what the rules are with the club and so forth. So hopefully, um, they start with a clean slate and they look forward to showing that they are a better unit um, this time around. Because that's when you look at things and you start to point fingers at why things are going wrong, and you start blaming each other, and teams fall apart in that regard. But just looking at them, they would need to kind of put some glue together and hold on.
But I think that's the. It seems well. You do the cricket show, so you're into the cricket. But that's the buzzword going on now before the cricket, and these are the same clubs. So
Hmm.
cricket is pressing now with discipline, respecting the game, whatnot. So I think a lot of the it's some of the same players, but it's the same clubs. So a lot of that I think is carrying over now into
Hmm.
football season. The
Yeah.
the expectations and the discipline.
But it's something we have to stay on top of right away, right from the start. If you let it grow and manifest and sort of thing, and then by the time you do want to address it, it's out of hand. It's just one of those things that I think that we need to start right from the start of the season. I'm a firm believer. Listen, if the other side of the field could hear you cursing, then go and join the other side of the field. That's the way I see it. That's the way I see it. I could be wrong, but if you do it early in the season, guess what happens? It stops,
Right, right.
and it might not stop it altogether, but it would sure curb it, and that's what we want to be able to do. We want to be able to come out, watch a game, because you get people that are vulgar on the sideline, you can get them to leave, but the guys on the field that are vulgar, you allow them to play. We can't. No, it's got to be, we control it on the field, then we can control it in the stands, and we can then get moved forward. Because that's what I think that personally needs to happen. You just got to make an example of one or two. And then
But
eventually, guess what happens? The coach and the club starts to say, hey, Griff, listen, you want to either be a part of this or you don't.
well, I think it's a mirror for society because you don't just get to end up in Premier Division and your behavior is bad. You need to go
But
to
that's
some
true.
youth. You need to go to some youth games and see how crazy you catch at that level. So
Oh,
they just
trust me. I,
progress.
I, know, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah. I know
Uh,
exactly what you're talking about.
so
Yeah.
we got to stomp it out from early.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But that
Definitely.
I think that takes the parents, because if you go
Yes.
to the games, some of the craziest people are us as the parents. And it's difficult to go to a game and just zip it. Like sometimes you have to maintain that level of decorum for the sake of the game.
Well, let me just say, and a lot of people will agree with this. You go to almost Saturday, and there's youth football on between if the ages of 5 to 13, you can't find a parking spot. But the minute you get to 15 to 18, and because the parents stop coming.
Right.
So now all of a sudden the behavior changes because of what the parent was doing at the game. Now the child takes over that behavior, and there's nobody to stop them other than the coaches.
Right.
So, hey, yeah, yeah. Well, you're some 8 minutes away from kickoff for the
Looks like
for the
the players are
charity
finished the
cup.
warm up,
Yeah.
coming together. I think they're gonna walk them out for the dignitaries and whatnot are gathering around.
Okay. Well,
So the referees on the field, they've done their inspection. And yeah, it's looking at what surprised me though. Like this, it's a little cloudy, but the weather's good. It's a nice little breeze.
okay.
And like down here at Bernard Park, when the water comes down and mosquitoes come up, but it's no mosquitoes, nice little breeze. It's very pleasant.
I hope you haven't called them out.
Uh, knock on wood.
All right. Well, Griff, I'll let you go and get settled in and watch this one. And next week, Sunday, we'll be back with another edition of the football show. As we've kicked off we would have the international match as well as the 3 nights of Dudley Eve that would have taken place as well. Okay?
And Earl, I think I did jinx it. I have felt a couple of sprinkles. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I'm looking for cover.
All right. Well, you go
All
get
right.
some cover and we'll talk later. Have a
All
good
right.
one.
Take care,
All right.
everybody.
Okay.